Welcome back to the Max Effort Kitchen podcast. We got a great segment for you. It's called The Athlete and the Chef. So sit back, relax, and let's go. All right. Welcome to the Max Effort Kitchen podcast. This is Matt, and that is Cornell. How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. First weekend, no nothing.
Oh.
No, nothing. I mean, the only thing I had planned was training on Saturday. And
how'd that go?
It went, first real session back since the comp. Yeah, I lifted doubles up to 90. It was fine. It was totally fine.
Whoa. Everything
Everything worked. No miss. I might have had one half a miss because I missed the second rep on something. But,
Okay.
it was fine. I was going to wait to talk about this, but the environment in which we lifted was really cool. And I might be saying that because I don't experience it that often. I don't think Strength Tank is this intense sometimes. Maybe it does get intense.
Okay.
When I was there, it was more busy than it was intense. So this was a situation where there's like this hallway, and at the end of the hallway is a wall. And it's got staggered platforms. It's got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 platforms, all black walls.
Okay.
The walls are all black. And all the equipment is, all the racks or whatever are black. Everything's black. You got a speaker facing into that hallway. And it's playing everything from scream metal to the hardest techno beats that I at one time. The owner jumped in on a platform and lifted or snatched, or he worked up to 130, I think, in the snatch. And the dude, I don't know if you've met him. He's like,
who is he?
I know his name. It'll come to me, but the owner of Ironside. And he's like 6'6", probably 6'6", big dude, real nice guy.
Okay.
But they definitely have done something with this gym where they have created a very specific atmosphere that all the athletes are there for. And man, I could totally get down with that a couple times a month. But I don't know if I'm, maybe I'm too old. I don't know.
You're only too old if you think you're too old.
I know. But go ahead.
I was gonna say Strength Tank isn't often like that, but there are definitely days where you can create that atmosphere. You don't necessarily know when it's going to happen. But I do know whenever Trevor Kim shows up, and I'm there, it doesn't matter what I'm doing or how I'm feeling. I'm gonna chase him.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be heavy, and it doesn't really matter what the program says. I'm just gonna do everything I can to keep up.
Nice.
So
yeah, and I'm with you on that. Again, maybe this is just my ignorance of not being in a weightlifting gym. I can tell you that the Rose City is nothing like that. Mm-hmm. But Rose City is primarily CrossFit. So they're vibing on their own, grape juice and whatever. But grape juice and Fruit Loops is what I wanted to say. But I don't know, man. I just I digged it. I walked out of there kind of not wanting to leave. But then I was like, I'm done with my session. I got to go anyways. We had stuff to do, or we were going to do some, go to some thrift shops or whatever. And And dude, it was just a really cool experience. And I like props to him for creating that, because it's a weightlifting strongman gym pretty much.
Okay.
And it's half of it strongman, the other half is weightlifting. And it's really cool. And some of the things I saw them doing as coaches, there was 2 coaches there, and they're literally standing in front of not standing in front, but standing right by their athlete, giving them cues. Okay, wait, hold up, stop. Here's what I want you to do on this next jerk. Go, and
Nice.
it was like very personalized. Really cool guys, introduced themselves. It was just a really well put together gym, and I appreciate that, I guess.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
No, I think that every gym can be different, but I think that sounds like one of those gyms where when you go there, you want to just say, sorry, coach, we don't have a program today. And then you just kind of see what happens. And
yeah,
the coach should be cool with it. I think that's what I have seen definitely at our gym, is when that atmosphere could happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then people come and they're like, oh, I got the program to do. And I'm like, all right, you just go over in that other corner over there.
Yeah.
And they put their headphones on. I'm like, we could have some fun, but you just want to stick to the program when you're 18 weeks out from a local meet. So,
I mean, and then there's so much to be said about that, because it's like almost like they should have a kiddie room for those people. Like, here, you go back in the kiddie room. Yeah. You're on the kiddie table today. You know what I mean? Like, because, I don't know. You guys usually do like you guys are usually either doing a big Friday or a big Saturday type thing, right?
I do.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So
not everybody, but
not everybody,
I definitely, I know what works for me, and I need to have my days where if I'm feeling good, I'm going to feel good.
Yeah.
For example, this last Friday, it was the last big day before nationals for Nick. So I wanted to make sure that I was trying to keep up, or not necessarily push him where he didn't need to be pushed, but just kind of do my best to keep up with him.
Yeah.
And thankfully this time I was able to keep up in the snatch, and then he wasn't feeling great in the clean jerks, but we were able to just hit some powers and it was good.
Nice.
But then Saturday I went in and I had no idea what I was going to do. And I was like, I'm a little tired. It wasn't huge numbers, but it's I hit 130 in the snatch, and it's the heaviest snatch that I've had since Pan Am's, and I don't know when the last time I snatched 130 before that was. So it's been a while.
Okay.
And then power clean jerked 140. Again, it's not super heavy for me, but it's heavier than it used to be. And it was just like, all right, we're going to stop there. Nick's back was feeling a little tweaky. So Friday wasn't the important day. It was, I think, next Friday. But then Saturday I came in. Like, I have no idea what I'm going to do. And then I asked Tyler, I'm like, what? He pulled the blocks out. I'm like, oh, what you doing over there? And he's like, clean pull plus clean up to 130. I'm like, all right, I'll just work in with you.
Nice.
And I think this is one of those really good situations where he's one of those guys who he will just stick to the program. Even if he's feeling good, he will 99% of the time just stick to the program and almost use it as a cop-out. Like, he doesn't necessarily want to fail. So even if he's feeling good, he's like, oh, I got to save it for the big day. It's like, you might not have the big day doesn't generally happen the way that you necessarily want it to happen.
Right.
And especially when you don't even have a competition in sight, sometimes you just got to take those opportunities and go for it. So yeah, I was happy and proud of him because he was supposed to work up to 130 it ended up being a pull plus a clean. And then he had to hit it twice. So he hit it the first one. And then he looked at me, he's like, you going to stay here or should we go up? I'm like, let's put on 140. He's like, okay. I'm like, oh, look at this. Look, he doesn't have his headphones in. He's training with other people and he's going to go heavier. Well, he smoked it. And then he did it again for an extra rep. So it was like, all of a sudden you're going heavier and you're doing better and you're doing more reps. So I decided not to leave it there because I don't remember if we talked about it on the podcast or not, but I said that I told Cynthia, one of the other coaches there, I said, I'm going to squat for 3 weeks and then I'll clean 160 by the end of the month. And she goes, oh, just like that, you're just going to squat for 3 weeks. I'm like, all I need right now is some more strength. So I just need to do a little bit of squatting, and then I want to hit 160 by the end of the month. And she's like, all right, whatever. So I end up tripling 140 from the blocks. I mean, it's from the blocks. It's a whole lot easier, but still.
Yeah.
Hit 150, 55. And I was like, I'm walking up to the 55. I'm like, I make this, I get to go for my 60. Smoke the 55. Put on the 60.
Nice.
Hit the 60. No problem. I haven't cleaned 60 in I don't know how long. End up putting on 165, made that. And then like 3 people like, you going to 70? And I was like, not today. I think I could do it, but I don't want to overdo it. And I'd rather do it in like 2 weeks. So
that's smart though. That's you. Let's just say being patient. And which can apply to many things, but I mean,
give me 3 seconds. The refrigerator's beeping because I left the door open.
Oh, okay. No worries. What I was basically going to say to him is that and he's back. Yeah, you're just being patient, dude, and you can apply that all the way down to your technique, or you can just apply it to your mindset. Patience is huge because you probably could have went and you probably could have hit it. But I think you said this yesterday or the day before on the polo where you were like, yeah, I probably could hit it, but it would have buried me. Or I would have maybe something reactivated your adductor or something.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
Something could have gone wrong right now because I wasn't expecting to be in 60 shape this early. I thought I needed another week and a half.
Yeah.
And it turned out that I was. And then I hit the 65 because the 60 felt so good. So instead of me finding that maximum lift and then having to recover, because recovering from a maximum lift that's where it gets hard. Mm-hmm. Recovering from a next to maximal lift is not hard to recover from. So I'm going to keep squatting for a couple more weeks and then I'll go for that 70, and who knows what I'll go for after that. I mean, whatever it is, I'll ride it as long as I can. Yeah, no,
I like that. I have noticed over the past probably 2.5-ish months that when it comes to really, really heavy squat, I'm not really, really heavy. Let's just say heavy squats by 5. I did about 2.5 weeks ago, I did 170 by 5. And it was like, I'm going to say that's probably my 5 rep max, whatever. Mm-hmm. I've never really done that, but yeah, it was pretty damn heavy, but I made it. And the last one was a bit of a struggle. Cool. It took my body a week to recover from that. My nervous system was slower. I was just having a hard time moving my hips because they were so tight. And no matter how much I worked them before I got on the platform, there was some weird stuff with my quad. And then I'm starting to think, well, okay, what's going on here? You're slow under the bar. Your hips aren't really moving. You're letting your hips drop in the catch. Why are you doing this? And I'm like, maybe it's because I hit that 170 by 5 on Saturday, and by Monday my body just wasn't ready yet.
Sure.
But then I'm going to say by Thursday, so not a full week. By Thursday, I was kind of back to normal. And boy, heavy squats really kick my butt. It's, I can go heavy on the clean and jerk, and that doesn't do too much for me. Or I can go I'll tell you what else gets me is when I miss a whole bunch and I'm getting stubborn on the snatch. Yep. I'm done, bro. There's no more left in me, and I got to take the next day off. But what that says is it's doing something, right? It's doing something.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I've always found that Mondays are generally some of the hardest days for me to lift on because I'll go heavy either Friday or Saturday, but that's my one back-to-back day. And then it's one day of recovery doesn't feel like nearly enough.
Right. Right. I have to use my Monday as a primer day, and then Tuesday is my Monday.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
also it's generally like a Friday evening and a Saturday morning. So it's almost like I don't want to call it a double session, but it would, if you go in at 6 p.m. and then you show up the next day at 8 a.m., that's almost like a 12-hour. Like if you hit it early in the morning and late at night, it's a heavy sessions to hit back to back.
Yeah.
And then to try to recover from, and then to be ready by Monday. So
Yeah. I think people underestimate the the necessity of recovering properly before they get back into training. I think that our bodies used to be younger, and we used to be able to go back to back like that, and maybe one day, Sunday of being off, Monday was fine. But we can attest. I'm sure there's other old guys and ladies on here that are listening can attest that, like, the older you get, the longer that recovery is. And I talk about the same way I talk about drinking. Like, this is why I don't drink, is because I have a drink on Saturday, I'm still feeling it on Thursday. Like, I'm that bad. I don't drink. So, like, I had a glass of wine at dinner on Friday, and I'm like still like feeling weirdly dehydrated. I'm like, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But that's just the way our bodies work as the older we get. And knowing that's half the battle, right?
sure.
Believing it's the other half.
So part of that podcast that we were going to talk about that we'll probably get to.
Yeah.
One of the things that, I don't know if you listened to the whole thing. I listened to it twice.
Oh, nice.
But one of the parts that Jordan Genta, the weightlifter, ex-CrossFitter, still more of weightlifter than CrossFitter.
Okay.
He made some comment that when people start to believe that they've peaked, they don't think they can do anymore.
Right.
Or they're not pushing like they would if they haven't thought they peaked yet. And I know that I peaked 2 years ago. That was the heaviest I've ever been. That was the biggest I've ever been. That was the strongest I've ever been.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. And I always kind of felt like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get back to those numbers, but I was okay. And that was fine. But honestly, after this last weekend and hitting that 65 with only a couple weeks of squatting, I know it's not huge numbers compared to what I've done in the past, but it's creeping up there. I'm like, oh, I might get to hit like 70 plus again. And it kind of reinvigorated me to like, let's be careful, but let's see what we can do. And yeah, maybe the 182 might not ever happen, but let's see how close we can get again.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
if I can get 3 reds on the bar again, I will be super stoked on that. I don't need to clean and jerk it. I don't need to. The dream has always been to like clean the 182. I don't care if it's from the blocks, from the hang. I mean, I'm not going to deadlift it and hang it and clean it, but
no, please don't.
I don't really care where it would be from, but like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like motivated to see kind of what we can do. And I know that I'm a lot lighter and I'm a lot more fragile and I'm older and all that kind of stuff, but I feel like it sparks something up where it's funny when you have a good day like that, you're like, oh, maybe it's not over. Maybe there's something else. So like in the Rocky movies, which I always watch, or I always loved, and I watch definitely getting close to big competitions. Like there's something left in the tank. And it feels good to know that there's something there still. So
and that's a really good point, dude. Prime example, Donald taking year and a half off, comes back, hits the best total he's ever had. I just realized this. I didn't know it in the moment. I didn't know it after the moment. I knew it on Friday when I looked it up. 105 in the snatch is my comp PR now. Like, and I hit that last weekend. I thought I hit 107, but whatever. I can't see it anywhere. So, well, how, right? You know, like, okay, I thought that I've never thought that I've peaked. I think I've started this sport too late to say that I've peaked quite yet. Give me another, give me another 3 years and let's see what I can do. I'm not saying the 10-year mark is like that's it. What I'm saying is like, that's a good spot to evaluate. You're 12 years, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you had that moment. You had your 10-year moment because that was about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And you were like, you know, you said, well, okay, cool. This is probably the biggest number to hit. And then pulled back and then quickly realized, I say quickly, it's about a year, that you got more in there. And I've always believed it. I'm sure that anybody you talk to and any of the friends, I've always believed it. There's also a factor that's going on with you that I think is worth noting. You're lighter than you've been in a long time.
Yeah.
That's going to play a part in that.
I'm walking around like heavy 97s to mid 98s. Like after a big meal, I might tap into, I think I was 100.0 a couple, like after like, I think last weekend, and I ate like a grip load of food. It was a bunch of parties going on.
Yeah.
So, but I've been seeing like the 97s on the scale. And so I kind of I'm a little heavier than I'd probably like to be, but I'm also, what are we, 12 weeks out from Worlds?
Yep. 12 weeks. Yeah.
So I got another about 4 to 5 weeks of hanging out here. And then I'll start that slow adjustment to the body weight and try to get down to like 95, and I'll probably water load the last kilo.
Nice.
I mean, Vegas in September, you go outside for 5 minutes and you've dropped a pound. So
yeah. And I don't know if anybody's listening or if you know this. I was looking at you're probably not going to fly, I would imagine, but
I'll go.
Oh, I was going to say it's $89 one way right now, like $180 round trip. That's all fees in and everything. It was pretty cool.
I think 2018 at the AO3 back then when they had 3 of them.
Yeah.
Nick dropped us off at the airport and then started driving home. And we had to be at the airport an hour and a half, 2 hours early. And then we had our flight and then we had to get picked up but door to door. So from when he dropped us off at the airport to when we got to our house, he got to his house. We were within I think 20 minutes of each other.
Seriously, that's awesome.
Yeah. And
so it doesn't really make a difference.
It's like a 4.5, 5 hour flight. Yeah. I will say he was exhausted.
Yeah.
I went to work that day.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. I mean, obviously I'm flying, but anybody out there, check out Alaska, and they have some smoking prices right now. So I did get my singlet today. I ordered the speed suit, and I ordered the one with sleeves.
Okay.
I'm kind of regretting it. The sleeves are like right on my shoulder crease. They're tiny. And the neck is a little large. But whatever. I don't even care. Like I'm going to go rock it. It's not going to be a big deal.
One competition.
Yeah. And, but I completely concur with what you said about the one you got, which is the bottom half.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that material is awesome. It's perfect. It's yes, a dinglet. I like that.
Yep. The red ones are much more dinglet than.
Are they really?
My wife has laid down the law many years ago. You will not have a all red singlet.
Yeah. There's. I think I don't know if it was Maddie or Jack, but one of them was like, "Look, you can see everything." Oh, great. Yeah, no, but we're listening to that podcast that we're talking about. It was RX Radio. I don't mind saying their name on here. They do a good show. But they are talking about like the study that was done on placebo effect, basically.
Yep.
And man, would I like to roll this experiment with somebody where I give them a sugar pill every day and tell them it's steroids and see how they perform.
So you don't have to tell them it's steroids. Just say, don't tell anyone. You're far enough out from competition. Take one in the morning, one at night. and just
Yeah.
watch how good you get.
The idea of this is brilliant. Like, I mean, if you want to relate it to the real world, like I could give my wife something, a sugar pill, and tell her, "Hey, you're going to lose 10 pounds a week if you do this." Bet you she would do it. But it's a real thing. Placebo effect is a real thing, and I believe in it because I trick myself sometimes. But dude, how cool would this be to do? Like, I would love to just see how somebody does that.
Well, so what they end up doing is, it was in 2000. I don't know what the study was called, but it was a set of, I think, powerlifters and somebody, another group of people, and they gave them sugar pills, but didn't tell them that. They just said it was a performance enhancement, and every single person improved between 3 and 5%. So you think about it and you're like, 3 and 5%, that's not that much. Well, that's the difference. I put in, when you put in your top numbers, so my best snatch is 153.
Okay.
Times 0.03. Wait, 153 times 1.03. That takes me to 158. That would be a huge PR. And then 153 times 0.105, that's 160 and a half.
Wow.
Like, that's a lot of weight. And then my best total is 322 times 1.03. That would be 331 or 332 with the roundup. 322 times 1.05, 338.
Jesus.
That's, I mean, I wish someone did this study on me.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. You know, I mean, I think I've said this, but our brains are these funny little things where they can just, I mean, obviously it's how we conduct life, but boy, if there's something out there that can trick us like that to me is so significant. That and not only is it kind of empowering, like when you come out of that, let me ask you this. If that experiment was put on you and then like you came out of that and you're like, yes. And then they were like, yeah, guess what? Those are sugar pills. Do you think the performance would just drop down the cliff?
No, because some of the stuff they're talking about before was like different mindsets of different professional players.
Okay.
And when I was listening to them, I honestly feel that if someone told me, hey, those were fake, that was all you, I'd be like, I am that good. Like, I wouldn't be like, wow, like the mindset, it's all in the mind. There's so much stuff that is in the mind, and the biggest thing that holds people back is in their mind.
It's in their mind.
And like you see people walk up to the bar and they're like, oh, I hope I don't miss this. I'm like, don't even take it. Don't even try it. If you're already like, I really hope I don't miss this lift. It's like, you've already missed it. Like, you should be 100% going it, especially with like maximum attempts. That weight there's a good chance that weight can hurt you.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't take that much weight to really hurt someone. You put 185 pounds on a bar and drop it on someone's head, they're going to be pretty hurt. So
yeah.
And 185 for you and I is not a whole lot of weight, but it could still hurt us pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. It could hurt us. And dude, I mean, this does bleed into exactly what you just said, which is, you know, mindset is everything. And, I mean, look at how you perform. Okay. Look at how I would say majority of people probably perform better at a local competition than they do a national competition. That's just an estimate and probably I don't have any statistics on that comment, but that's how I perform better at local than I do at nationals or in any big event. And that's there's a lot into that, but a lot of it is the mindset of like, I'm on my home turf. That's why home field advantage is a good thing. Otherwise, who cares if you're on your home field advantage? But having that mindset to walk up and hit whatever, is such a dude. It's a hack in the sport, man. If you have it, your ceiling is you live in a glass ceiling because you can just break through that shit all the time. I don't know if that's what that actually means, but I'm going to go with it. So
Sure.
you're just constantly moving because your mindset is going to tell you, yeah, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I got this. No problem. One thing I do on any competition is when I lift, I go and I make it. I drop the bar. I walk away. I don't even look at the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a couple times I saw at this last meet where, there was a delay in the judges, pressing their buttons and it showing up on the TV. And they're like standing there and they're looking at the judges, looking back, looking at the judges. And you're like, just walk away, dude.
Yeah.
Walk away. Like if you made it, you made it. If you didn't, you didn't. That you just adjust your mindset at that point and stop. I guess it's it's confidence, right? I don't know.
No, I've always said that the lifter, if I saw someone make a lift and they're waiting to see what the screen says and they're looking at it, I'm like, you don't even have confidence in yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's a very big thing that I follow, just like you, where I don't look at the board. I know if the lift was good or bad. I mean, I was blown away at the last clean jerk at Pan Am's because I was not looking at the board, but I was walking a little slower because I was like, I didn't make it. And then all of a sudden I see two whites. I'm like, what the heck? Okay.
I had one of those moments too. But it's part of that mindset of I just made the lift, walk off, let's do the next one. Let's go. And you just I get this way where I start busting down every little nuance and detail, and that's always in my training. When it comes to game day, I feel like I'm a different person, and I like that about myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I love this sport, is because I can flip it in game day, and I just so that just means for me, my mindset is I need to get better at training because then my game days will be better. I'll take a sugar pill for the next 12 weeks. Let's see what happens.
No, I think so. One of the other parts, just to think about, to make it a little more fair, is when you're talking about national meets versus local meets, you haven't had nearly as many national meet competitions as local meets. So just the odds of you having a really good meet at a national meet, you've done 3, I believe.
Yes, 3.
Yeah, because I was at all 3.
Were you at the first one? Were you at 22? Yeah.
Salt Lake City? Yeah, I drove.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, that's right. Right. Okay. Yes.
So you've had 3 of those, and then how many local meets have you done?
Oh, 12, 13, something like that.
It's like 12 and 3. So you've done 15. So you've had 4 times the amount of attempts at doing better in local. Yeah. So I think that is one thing that at least you got to take into account.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I like to tell people, like, be a little bit more conservative at national meets, because if you're traveling to this thing, you just spent $1,000. Don't be an idiot and open heavy and go 1 or 2 for 6.
Yeah.
Hopefully you go at least 2 for 6. But,
yeah.
That's what you save for the local meets. So no, but one of the other parts that they were talking about, and I'm probably going to butcher it, but I think I can get the gist of it.
Okay.
Is they said that honestly, and I'm going to say this because I believe the same thing, like word for what they were saying, and I'll just say what I can remember of it. People want to get better, but they say they want to get better, but I don't think that they actually do. The correct thing to say is, yes, I want to get better, but they don't necessarily believe it, or they're not going to do what it takes to get better. But they can say they want to get better, and they can say that they want to hit these numbers. And like, it's easy to say stuff, but to actually back it up and do what it takes to get better, I haven't seen that many people really stick around that long to do it. I'm thinking, I mean, again, I've been lifting for 12 years. Nick has been lifting longer than me because he started in high school.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think of all of the people that I've lifted with, and there's Nick, there's Terry. She's like 100 years old right now. I know a couple people they own gyms and they are still kind of involved with it, but it's not their priority. They just like to still jump into competitions. So I wouldn't necessarily say that those are there's one person in particular I'm thinking of. Like they say they want to get better. They get really hard on themselves, but then they're not willing to cut out some of the other stuff so that they can get better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Finish
that was it.
Oh, okay. What I was going to say was I wrote down two things as you were talking about that. And one of them, the first one was scared and the other one was hard work. I honestly think, I think that when you think about being better, I think it might scare you to do the hard work because, especially in this sport, I mean, any sport really, anything in life, let's just put it that way. Anything you want to be successful at or really good at is going to be hard to do. I have yet to experience something that was really easy and successful. So there's nothing has come that way. I mean, look at the most I don't want to say, maybe primal is the wrong word. I don't know, but a marriage, dude. Like, you're grown up to feel that, like, yes, you get married and everything is great and you get the white picket fence and the perfect family and all that. Marriage is hard.
Yeah.
And I know my wife is listening to this, but we talk about this all the time. Marriage is hard. Weightlifting is hard.
She said being married to you is hard.
Well, hey, I'm not going to.
She didn't say that.
Yeah, no, she probably did. I'm grumpy a lot. But like perfecting a golf swing, hard. Doing a triathlon, hard. Like we just saw Damon do it. You're owning your own business, hard. Like, but yet the reward that comes from that is so much greater. And I just think that people, and I'm going to be kind of judgmental here, but people tend to want that outcome before putting in that work. And then when they don't get that outcome, it's like, I'm out. I'm going to go do something else. And that frustrates me. I don't know.
No, we have talked about this before, and I talked about it on the podcast I used to be on before, and that host didn't like me talking about this. Talking about your goals like you've already done them or like you're about to do them, like you've already achieved them, you're getting like 75 to 80% of the same dopamine hit to your brain without doing any of the work and accomplishing the work.
Yep.
So if you look at a lot of people, and this guy was one who loved to talk, and he loved to talk a big game, and just whether it was about the past or what it was about what the future holds, and how don't let anyone tell you can't do that, and you just snatch 70 kilos, you're definitely going to the Olympics in 2028. It's on our home turf. It's in LA. And but it's just, I've seen more and more people where it's like the ones who talk the most are the ones who don't back it up. Yeah. And the ones who embellish what they have done are the ones who are just trying to sound like they're more impressive than they are. I mean, I don't like to talk about weightlifting with people that don't do weightlifting. And it's one of the things that I just hate. Like if that gets brought up at a party or something, like I was just at some graduation parties and they're like, oh, you're just at a competition. How'd it go? I'm like, oh, it went pretty good. I did what I tried to do. And they're like, oh, that's cool. Did you win? I'm like, yeah. Like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know.
You don't know what to say to it. Like I had one of the owners of my company that I work for. Hey, Matt, how's it going? Oh, I just heard you did a competition. Yeah. Oh, so you can drink water now. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Hey, so how's your back feeling?
Yep.
I'm the same way, dude. I can't talk about it. I just can't.
No, but I literally know people who, hey, how much do you clean jerk? They say this number that people don't know. And I'm looking at this guy, and I love this guy, but I look at him And I'm like, you've cleaned it and you've jerked it, but you haven't clean and jerked it.
That's a big part right there.
Be putting numbers out there and claiming that you have clean and jerked on the same hand, clean and jerked, not clean and jerked. And I was just like, I'm just going to keep quiet about this because I don't care.
Yeah. No, totally. I'm with you on that. I mean, I've heard it. I've seen it. And you're right. It's just one of those things that, okay, let me back up. Before the last game of our little flag football, I had a little like pep talk with the kids. I'm trying to keep it light for 10-year-olds. And I'm trying to explain to them, I was like, you know what? Talent will only get you noticed. Beyond that, your talent's really nothing. I said, what really matters is heart, integrity, mindset. These type of things are what puts you over the top, that make your talent actually worth it. And one of the things I said to him is effort. And this is something that one of my favorite athletes says, effort comes within. It's free and it comes only from you, and nobody can take away your effort that you put in. And it's such a true statement, because like, if you want to get better at the snatch, what are you going to do? You're going to snatch more. You're going to maybe get a coach. You're going to talk to that coach and say, I want to raise my snatch by 5 kilos this year. You're going to be realistic. You're going to dial in your mindset. You're going to put your heart into it. You're going to train every day. You're going to eat right. You're going to get good sleep. I mean, I could list off a million things, but like the only thing that really matters is if you're putting in that damn effort.
Yeah.
It's like, if you don't show up, it ain't going to just happen just because you talk about it. I hate that.
Yeah. I remember hearing something along these lines where in the beginning, like 2 to 3 years of weightlifting for your typical person, your clean and jerk at the end of your first year should be your snatch at the end of your second year.
Yeah.
And that will continue for like 2 to 3 years.
I like that.
And I can think of when my goal, I remember 2 years in, so it wasn't quite as quick as it happened, but I wrote down 125, 150. And I put that on a sticker, like a sticky note inside my locker at the gym. Okay. And I saw that every single day. And people were like, you can't snatch 275 pounds. That's so far away. And I was like, it's not every single day.
Yeah.
And I did it like 4 months, 5 months later.
Yeah.
I didn't do it again for a couple of years, but I had 150 because that was the hardest thing for me to do, was clean and jerk. And sure, it was probably 8 years later.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, oh my gosh, I snatched what my dream clean and jerk was. And I couldn't have done that if I didn't stick around for another 8 years.
Yeah. I mean, dude, like that became really apparent to me after like year, I guess 5 is like, oh yeah, this sport doesn't move quickly. You move quickly within the sport, but you don't move quickly in the sport, if that makes any sense. Like it's an aggression sport. It's all about fast movements, but your numbers stay the same. It's the time you put in that really dictates how well you do. And that just goes back to what you're saying about the sticky notes, what I'm saying about the effort. Like, people, like, you want to get better, just do it. If you want a perfect golf swing, go out to the range every day, get a coach. Like, I'll go down the list again. Like, at work, I have this thing that I just typed up and I put on my wall, and it's the filters that I put all of my recipes through to make sure it's aligning with the company. And it's kind of the same way you got to do that with weightlifting. You got to put it through the filters. You got to do the things that are going to make you perform better, and then get out there and you got to practice and then perform. And then you got to do it all over again. And it's just like, you're not going to get that in 2 years. I mean, some people say 10 years is the minimum, Well,
and I think too many people are comparing themselves to someone too many people who've been doing this for 2 or 3 years are comparing themselves with people who've been doing this for 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I'm not that far away from you. It's like those 10 kilos are those are a real big spread on 10 kilos. Like, yeah, your first 2 or 3 years adding 10 kilos to your snatch is not that hard. You're 10 years in adding 10 kilos to your snatch. That might be unattainable.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you should not try.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Or just tell them, hey, why don't you lift with me every day I lift for a month? Let's see how you do. Let's see if they can make it through a couple weeks of that program. No, I don't think it's happening.
And I mean, the stuff that I do, it's not super typical. And I don't know how I honestly wonder how someone who hasn't been lifting as long as I have would doing what I do.
Yeah.
Because it's so much based on how I'm feeling for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And they might be feeling great, but like if they're doing exactly what I'm doing, like, I don't know, that would be a very interesting thing to see. So
yeah, I mean, I was really just speaking to the sheer consistency of the way, I would say we both train, but like the consistency of being in the gym as much as you are every, 4 days, 5 days a week. Are you 4 or 5? I forget.
Both, sometimes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. 4 or 5 days.
Going on.
But what I'm saying is like doing that week in, week out, like that wears on a person that's only been in the sport for 2 years.
Yeah. And right now, the way that my training has been going is I'm doing about an hour and a half of weightlifting. And then I'm doing another 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes of bodybuilding on those same days.
I love it.
So I'm getting in 2.5 hours at least 4 days a week.
And that's awesome.
Like,
And
I've been real happy with it. So.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I mean, you're lifting really well. Let me read you. I'm going to read you my program for tomorrow. So I got a 3x3 muscle snatches at 60 kilos. Then I got another 3x3 dip snatches up to 75 kilos. And then I have snatch from the ground. And that's that's another 12 reps right there. Then I got back squats, a 3x8 at 130. 8 suck.
That one.
Yeah. And then I have 3 sets of 50 yards of farmer carry.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to this. This to me is like, fuck yeah, this is work right here. Talk to me in about a month. I'm going to be hating it.
Yep. Talk to you in 48 hours. You're going to be
yeah, exactly. But I did something today. And I did something based off of what I've heard you do, what I see Damon doing. I went out and I got myself a Globo Gym membership.
Nice.
And I got it for the sauna. I got it for the bodybuilding stuff. I got it for the $50 massages that they offer their members. Like,
oh, that's awesome.
I'm like, yeah, okay, we're doing this. I also got it for my kids so they could have a pool to go to in the summer. But also like, it just needed to be done. So really my wife was a convincing factor, and man, I'll tell you, I'm so excited to see how this summer goes and just all the ups and downs that are going to happen. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. Cool, man. Great conversation. 48 minutes. I love it. I love it when that happens. I looked at it at 42 and I was like, I ain't stopping this.
Yeah,
we're going. Hey, I just wanted to say, anybody that does listen, get out there. So if you haven't heard what happened to SoCal, get out there, look at their page, give them a support, buy a t-shirt, drop them a what's up. I don't know. Do whatever you think you can do. But dang, that sucks.
oh yeah.
Pretty big. I'm going to say iconic gym on the West Coast. Yeah, it just, and it sucks to see that happen to good people. But get out there, support them. Cornell, thanks for being on the show. Great conversation today. And you got anything else?
No.
All right. Well, everybody have a great night. Adios.
Bye.